Hello everyone and welcome back to my first video. In this video I will be talking about what characters you should be playing as a beginner or as a returning player. I remember when I started out back in the day in Operation White Noise, I had no clue which characters were good or not so good, so I just played random characters. Playing the characters that I will be listing in this video would have definitely helped me learn and understand Siege better and faster. If you are a intermediate player or if you have put a lot of time in learning Siege, stick around because these characters are good characters to play at any level, and you might learn some new tips and tricks. The first character on this list is Sledge. Sledge is arguably one of the easiest characters to learn. Sledge is a 3 armor 1 speed operator. His main gadget is his sledgehammer. You can destroy soft walls, soft hatches, soft floors, and bulletproof gadgets. You can use Sledge in a pretty easy way. You can open rotates or make angles for your team or yourself. But please don't make all the rotates crouch hide or vaultable. You have 25 hits with the hammer, so you don't have to be careful with it. It's better if you can run through the rotate. This might not seem like a big deal, but it saves you a lot of time and it's more comfy this way. Where Sledge really shines is vertical play. This means you go above the room you want to clear and you open the floor. This creates an angle on the defenders. They have two options here: run away from their position or challenge the angle. Most people will run away, but some might try to win the fight. This angle is generally in your favor, so don't be scared to take it, but make sure you open all the angles first, otherwise you die with your hammer in your back pocket and you waste a lot of utility. It might take some time to know where to open up, but you can use a custom game or D-Hunt to practice for this. You can run around and open the floor where you like, and you can see when angles open up. For a secondary gadget, you can choose between frag grenades, EMP grenades, or flashbangs. In 99% of the cases, you want to go with frags here. They are very strong, and that's why not a lot of operators have them. For his guns, I would stick with the L85. It has low recoil and good damage. I recommend running the 1.5 with flash hider and vertical grip. You can definitely run suppressor here, but it makes the gun a bit harder to control, but it's nothing major. For the pistol, you don't have much choice here. I recommend running a muzzle brake on all the pistols and DMRs. The second character on this list is Bandit. Bandit is also a very easy to understand character. Bandit brings the Bandit battery to the table. This Bandit battery can electrify reinforced walls and hatches, but hatches is not really his specialty. That's for someone else. What you can do with his Bandit battery is you can attach it to a reinforcement, and then the reinforcement becomes electrified. This means that Termite, Ace, and Hibana cannot just carelessly shoot their gadget on the wall. It will instantly be destroyed, which means they can't open the wall. The easiest way for a attacker to get rid of a bandit battery is to straight up shoot it. But you're not gonna get a lot of scenarios where that's possible. So most of the time you will face a Thatcher, and a good mechanic to know with bandit is bandit tricking. In this video I won't be explaining how to bandit trick. I've got a different video coming up for that. What will happen when you face a Thatcher or any operator with secondary EMPs? Your bandit battery will be disabled for a short period of time. This means the bandit battery isn't active anymore and the attackers can just open up the wall. However, bandit is a great character to slow down this process of them opening up the wall, and maybe they don't even have a Thatcher. For the third operator, we will also be looking at a defender because he is very similar to Bandit, but also not. The third operator on this list is Cade. Cade is a 3 armor 1 speed operator, and his main gadget is the Electro Claw. You can use it to electrify walls, hatches, shields, and barbed wire. The last two isn't really what you want to use it for though. You mainly want to use it for hatches and otherwise for walls. Once you deploy the claw on a reinforcement, you will see a small radius, and every wall or hatch or shield or barbed wire piece in that radius will get electrified. So there are some positions where you can, for example, toss the Kate Claw below the walls and it will still be in the range because that's how the range works. You can do some nice little tricks here where you electrify a reinforcement and a hatch together. But there are certain positions where the Kate Claw is very hard to find or to destroy. So you want to look up where these positions are and you can use them. For Kate's secondary gadget, you have the option between barbed wire and nitro cell. I think nitro cell is the best option here because it's very handy to kill people that are trying to plant the diffuser. For his gun, I would recommend the AUG A3. It is very low recoil and has pretty decent damage. The fire rate is a bit on the lower side, but you'll get used to it. I recommend using whatever scope you want. I recommend using the vertical grip here and the flash hider or extended barrel, depending on if you like the recoil with the extended barrel. For Kate secondary, it's a bit tough to give you a recommendation because both secondaries aren't easy guns to use. Both have a lot of recoil, but I think the revolver is better because it doesn't have this very zoomy scope. The next character on this list is Ash. Ash is a very good frag operator, but that doesn't mean you don't bring valuable utility to the team. Ash is a 1 armor 3 speed operator, and she brings the breaching round to the team. This is a little launcher which fires a breaching round. This can make a hole in the wall like a regular breaching charge, but from a distance. But you can also use it to take out bulletproof gadgets, like shields, maestro cams, or Melusi benches. I recommend going for bulletproof gadgets instead of using them for rotates, because Sledge or Buck or anyone else with breaching charges can make a rotate, but not everyone can get rid of a maestro cam, which is far away. You also have to watch out for Jaeger EDSs, Wamai magnets, or Armoni gates, as they hard counter you. The best thing you can do is ask a teammate to use flashbangs to waste the EDS. This means the flashbangs will get zapped, but your breaching round will hit its target. For Ash's secondary gadget, you can choose between claymores and breaching charges. I would say this is pretty much a 50-50, but you want to look at what your teammates have. If you have 4 to 6 claymores, there is no point to take even more. And at the end of the day, you can also watch flanks with your drone or just by pointing your gun there. For Ash, her weapons, I recommend running the G36 because it doesn't have a lot of recoil and good damage. It has the 1.5, and I recommend running the 1.5 with a vertical grip and flash hider. But you can also choose between a suppressor or extended barrel here because the gun doesn't have a lot of recoil. For Ash secondary, it's your choice. You can choose the 5.7 or the M45. The 5.7 has more ammo but less damage, and the M45 has more damage but less ammo. As a beginner, I would pick the 5.7 since it's more forgiving. The fifth character on this list is Jaeger. Jaeger is a 3-speed 1 armor operator. His main gadget is the ADS. This is a device you can place pretty much anywhere you like, and if her projectile except for Capita's bolts is in its radius, gets zapped away. This destroys the projectile, and after a short period of time, the EDS recharges. You can place EDSs in power positions. This is a position where you or one of your teammates is planning to play for as long as possible. The attackers will try to force him out, and this happens often with grenades. So you want to help your teammate by giving your teammate an EDS or two. This means your teammate is not gonna get naded instantly. Some examples of these positions are Blue on Oregon and Pixel on Cafe. For Jaeger's secondary, you can also choose both options. Look at what your team is missing. If you need intel, then you pick the bulletproof cam. If you don't need intel, you pick the barbed wire. You can place barbed wire on entry points into the bomb site or on staircases, but make sure you place it in a way the attackers can't sit in a safe position and punch it away. For the bulletproof cam, you want to place it where the attackers can't melee it very easily, but also gives good intel. This can be where the attackers are going to plant or where they are just generally attacking from. The next operator is Lion. Lion is a 2-speed 2 armor operator, and its main unit is the EE-1D drone. This drone will be in the air when Lion is brought. If you activate the drone, it first shows a little warning to the defenders that the Lion scan is happening very soon, and then it will scan the entire map. If the defenders move, they will get marked with several red pings, visible by all attackers. The defenders can also stand still, and then they will not get scanned. The only operator that counters Lion's drone is Vigil. He can activate his gadget and move around as much as he likes as long as his gadget is active. Lion is best used for roam clearing. If you or your teammates drone out a roamer and their location is being called out, you can use your Lion scan to reveal this location or make them unable to move, and you can punch them with your teammates. You can also use Lion if you know defenders are going to move or if they are already moving, for example in a post plan or if they are flanking you. For Lion's secondary gadget, you can choose between flashbangs, EMP grenades, and claymores. I recommend looking at what your team needs. If you need to open a reinforced wall, you can help your teammates and pick the EMPs. If you don't have any flashbangs to get rid of EDSs, you can take the flashbangs. For Lion's weapons, I recommend running the V208 with the 1.5 scope. You can run a flash hider here, but you can also run a suppressor. For the grip, I recommend running the vertical grip. The gun hits like a truck, has good fire rate, and has 50 bullets in the magazine. For a secondary, I recommend running the Gon 6. This is a little launcher that shoots a projectile, which will destroy any bulletproof gadget. It will also open a soft hatch, but will do very little damage to a wall. This is a great way to take out defender utility. So next up I have some honorable mentions. This is about hard breaching operators. These characters are very good to learn but also very hard to learn because they are very important in your lineup. They bring very important utility and you don't want to die with it very early on, but once you master these characters, you can help your team really effectively. But I'm also planning to make a different video on this topic in general, so stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. This was my first ever video, so let me know if you have any tips or tricks for me, and thanks for watching.